What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing my review for Slender Man.
Please, we can kill it.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
I will hunt you down wherever you're hiding, and I will eliminate you. I am justice.
Death has come to your little town, Sheriff. You can either ignore it, or you can help me to stop it.
Yeah, so this is part of that new thing that I'm trying that I kind of announced in a live stream but never made in a video about, so not a lot of people know about it. Basically, I wanted to celebrate my love for the horror movie genre by doing roughly 31 videos related to horror movies in the month of October. I'm still trying to find a format I want to stick with for these, and there's been a massive change to the schedule, so I've basically scrapped every movie that I was going to review, and now I'm starting fresh. Which just means that I've got more content for next year. I'm just going to be doing a whole bunch of horror movie reviews. They won't be replacing Godzilla videos. I will still be doing Godzilla videos. Don't worry about that. You will get double uploads certain days because, hey, I'm going to make some horror movie reviews and Godzilla videos. If you had asked me a month ago, are you going to review Slender Man twice? I would have said, you know, I'm not even going to see Slender Man 2018, let alone review it. Well, here I am for my second review of Slender Man 2018. If you want to check out my first one, it's an hour-long podcast I did called the Extremely Low Budget Podcast on my brother's YouTube channel, Extremely Low Budget Films. It will be linked down below. Good Lord, Slender Man. All right, so this is going to be my my solo review because that one we had three other guys with me. So I'm just gonna take you through the plot of this movie. It's a train wreck. The movie's a train wreck. If you haven't seen it, don't go watch it now because it's not worth it. Unless you really want to go with your friends, then it can kind of be fun if you're just gonna go make fun of it, but it's not worth it. So getting into the plot, you got four girls, Hallie, Ren, Chloe, and Katie. They're all hanging out, watching a bunch of porn together because I have no idea. I don't know what person in the world thought, oh, you know what kids do nowadays? They hang out and watch porn together. No, they don't. Kids don't do that. That's stupid. But they're all watching porn together during a sleepover, and then they decide that they're going to summon the Slender Man because, and I quote, the dude bros are going to summon Slender Man that night, and the girls are like, well, I don't want to be left out. Like, I want in on this too. So, right off the bat, this movie has the problem of being written by a 62-year-old who's trying to be cool and hip and is using all this modern day slang or whatever you want to call it. It's ridiculous. Dude bros is a word that I thought me and my friend made up because he would always get really excited and say, dude, bro, like he'd have to call me twice. But no, I guess Slender Man decided to coin that term. Jeez, they're all hanging out. They're gonna summon Slender Man. So they go on Creepypasta or whatever the hell website they go on. They watch a non-YouTube video about how to summon Slender Man, and they follow the steps, which is basically just turn this video on and close your eyes. They do it, and they all get spooked. Later on, they all start having nightmares about the Slender Man, which starts this movie's annoying tradition of having a nightmare play out where you don't really reveal that it's a nightmare until after it happens. It's super obvious every time it starts because it's like, yeah, no, our main characters are not gonna be turning inside out, right? So they're not gonna be doing that. But this movie will play out these full sequences only for the character to be like, whoa, it's a good thing that was a dream. Yeah, well, we all knew it was a dream, so you really just wasted our time. I know what the movie's trying to go for is like a psychological effect, like, oh man, these girls are going crazy, the Slender Man's driving them insane, but it's boring. Nothing happens. It makes the movie very uneventful because any event that does happen winds up being a dream, so it undoes itself and it's just worthless. Alright, so a week after they summon the Slender Man, they watch their tutorial, they go on a school field trip to cemetery. The reasoning is because Civil War something, Civil War. Also, I love in this scene, the history teacher straight up looks younger than half the students in this movie, and that's saying something because the students in this movie, unlike a lot of movies, don't look like they're 32. They probably are, but the kids playing high schoolers in this movie don't really look that way. But this teacher looks like he's a 12-year-old. Like, this guy looks like he should be in the class, not running it. All right, so this girl, Katie, one of their friends, just gets all distracted. She's an edgelord. She starts out the movie, no joke, literally saying, Oh, I'm a redhead. I have no soul. Oh, I'm dark and brooding. Okay, sure. She gets distracted looking off into the woods or something, and she can like see the Slender Man or whatever, and she goes off to be friends or something. I don't know. She winds up dying off screen. Her friends are real terrible. Like, they notice that she's all distracted looking off into the woods like, something's out there. And her friends are like, wow, girl, you're gonna hang back there? Ah, you're so stupid. And then they just kind of walk off. And I want to make this clear now because it'll come back again. The main characters in this movie is super unlikable. You have the cringe lord Katie, you have Ren, who is manipulative and no fun. You have the main girl, I don't remember her name. I said it a second ago, but I don't remember it. Is it Hallie? Hallie's the main girl. She's also unlikable because she's mean to everybody, and then you have the other one, the other girl who does nothing. Alright, so yeah, Hallie decides that she's all bummed out because she's like, oh man, Katie's missing now. She won't even text me back, which is a hilarious, unintentionally scene where they're all texting Katie like, come on, man, you're holding up the whole field trip. They're not the slightest bit worried about their friend. Like I said, terrible people in this movie. They're not the slightest bit worried that their friend is gone. They're like, oh, what the hell, Katie? You're holding up the whole field trip. We're trying to go home here. Like, they don't go looking for her. They're not like, oh God, is she all right? She was staring off in the woods. Something bad must have happened. They're like, ah, dude, why? She's pulling a prank on us, and I hate her. She's no friend of mine. So Hallie goes home. She talks with her sister or whatever, and her sister's like, we're best friends, Hallie. We tell each other everything, and I love you. And again, unlikable character here. Hallie just like hits her up with, I don't tell you anything. We're not friends. I don't like you. That's a great way to establish a character dynamic that we're supposed to root for. We're supposed to care about these two and their relationship. Later on, when a little girl, little sister winds up in distress, we're supposed to care. But we don't, because Hallie is super unlikable and super mean to everybody. Alright, so then some guy breaks into their house, tries to attack the girls, Hallie and her sister, because I guess Hallie's babysitting her sister or whatever. The guy turns out to be Katie's dad, and he's all upset. He's like, Katie joined a cult because of you, Hallie. I know it was you somehow. I know it was you. I know it was your fault. She joined a cult of something or another, and now I'm gonna kill you. Which is like, he totally does try and kill her, because he gets all mad, like, tell me where she is. You know where she is and you're not telling me. Then he just tries to attack her. It's a good thing though, the editor saves the day, because mid-attack, it just starts jump cutting, like a ton, and you can't tell it's happening. And this is coming from someone who, I love to use jump cuts in my reviews because it just speeds up the pace of things. But when you use them in order to show off an action scene, it's just so stupid. Like, you can't tell anything that's happening here. So, the editor saves the day because something or another happens that's cut up, and at the end, the girls are okay, and Uncle Dad, the Katie's dad, is now in the police car. It's a good thing that we mentioned that he's in a police car. This is very important to the plot in that it goes nowhere. The very next scene, Uncle Dad is back home. The police must have been like, yeah, well, he broke in a house, sure. He tried to attack these girls, sure. He did attack Hallie. He didn't actually hurt her, so we might as well just let him go home and be drunk and be an alcoholic, because he's just right back home. Yeah, and so Hallie and Ren and the other girl, I don't even remember her name, they all decide to team up. They're like, we're gonna go do an Ocean's 8 heist, the all-female version. We're gonna go break into Katie's house, we're gonna steal her laptop, and check out her search history. That's the plot point in the movie. Yeah, so they break into her house. Uncle Dad is distracted by Ren. Meanwhile, the girls sneak in through the back. Why they needed to wake up Uncle Dad, I'm not sure. He was sleeping on the couch, drunk, passed out, in a coma. They wake him up anyways. It's not like he was gonna wake up, and then they just leave right away anyways. So why they felt they need to wake him up, it doesn't add anything to the plot. I don't know. They could have just snuck in when he was sleeping. All right, so they go into the house. They find the laptop. Smash cut. Like, abrupt, real abrupt, to them just in the other house, in one of the girls' house. I'm not sure which girl. I think Ren's, maybe? And they're like, now we got her laptop, and we're looking at what she was up to. So they go on, like, the dark web or something, and they're like, oh my god, Katie was talking to some other Slender Man victim. Oh, this is insane. And then we learn this is all Katie's fault for being stupid and running off into the woods looking for Slender Man, trying to summon him on her own, because they watched some videotape where she, like, runs off into the woods. Another real dumb exposition-y videotape will show up in a minute here that is the exact same thing. But why do we need this other Slender Man victim? Basically to deliver exposition, to be like, hey, here's Slender Man, here's the rules, here's what you do. Here's how you kick off the rest of the plot. Other than that, they serve no purpose. That could have been achieved through research, which is done later on, and it amounts to ultimately nothing. Also, there's like a plot twist at the end where I think maybe Ren is supposed to be the other Slender Man victim or something. It may not actually be a plot twist. This movie is almost incoherent. It was written by a third grader, so it's really hard to tell what happens at the end here. I didn't even address it in my notes, but yeah, there's some weird twist at the end where the other Slender Man victim either died of something and their account got deleted by Slender Man, or Slender Man messaged them that was Slender Man on the other end, or it was Ren. I have no idea. It's never explained fully, and it comes out of nowhere, and it goes nowhere, so why it was in this movie, I don't know. Okay, but we smash cut to, they're looking on the laptop, they go on the dark web, they're like, she was into Slender Man, she runs off into the woods looking for him. They learned that Slender Man, you can't look him in the face because then he'll get aggroed, and he'll stalk you around trying to kill you. So that's the one rule, don't look Slender Man in the eyes. Simple rule to follow. They go into the woods, they're like, we gotta sacrifice some items. They're like, we gotta give Slender Man something personal because you gotta sacrifice something personal in order to get a soul back. It's basically, you gotta sacrifice Gamora to get your Infinity Stone, your Soul Stone. That's basically what they do here. They're like, we're gonna go give up some things. So I don't quite remember what they give up. I don't remember, but it's like, one of them gives up like a knitted thing that their grandma made them. The other one gives up like some sort of, maybe it's like a slip or something, I don't know. The other one gives up some sort of like, I made this in 3rd grade, it's a clay thing. She throws it on the ground, whatever. There's this weird thing that's in here where one of the girls is like, Ren, I think, is like to Hallie. I'm surprised you didn't give up one of your track trophies. Well, it's really important that we mention that Hallie's an expert track girl or whatever, and that she has track trophies, and that it's really important to her, because that goes nowhere and it's never brought up again. It's almost like this movie was 2 different movies, and they were like, well, neither movie's good. Maybe if we put them together, they'll be good, and they just put them together and they weren't good. Like, it's like the first movie was maybe an interesting Slender Man movie, and the other movie was a teen drama. And we're like, well, we got these scripts and they're both horrible. Let's see what happens, right? And nothing good happened, I'll tell you that. All right, so they all blindfold themselves and they all sit around this pile of garbage that they threw in the woods, of this litter that they're like sacrificing or whatever. And they all sit around, they're like, well, we got blindfolds on, we can't see. They hear crackling in the woods, and one girl, I'm like looking at my notes here looking for her name because I just do not remember her name. Chloe. All right, that's right. Chloe takes off her bandana or whatever she was blindfolding herself with and looks straight at Slender Man's face, and she just bolts. It's very clear here when you're watching this scene that that wasn't in the script. That's sarcasm. It was obviously in the script, but based off the way it's filmed, you wouldn't be able to tell, because it's almost like the girls were there and the cameraman was there, and the one girl, Chloe, just started running. The cameraman was like, turns to the director or whatever, he's like, hey, do I film this? And the director's like, yeah, you gotta film this or whatever. And so he's like, well, oh God. And he's like chasing after him, holding his camera, trying to keep a steady shot. You can't tell what's happening. It's just like someone running through the woods. The camera's in this hand. They're just running through the woods. Like, what is happening? Chloe gets attacked by the trees from The Evil Dead. One of them knocks her out. She's eventually discovered by the other girls. And the end. I don't remember if the other girls saw Slender Man in this scene or if it was just Chloe. I think they did. I think they did wind up seeing him. Point is, Chloe looks straight at Slender Man, and now they're all gonna be hunted down. So Chloe goes home and freaks out. She's like, oh my God, Slender Man, he was in the woods. And then she like, kind of calms herself down, listening to Spotify. Slender Man, though, he hacks that. He's like, nope, I like this Skype feature on your phone, and I'm gonna use it. It's a Sony phone, too. It's a Sony phone. Hey, guys, it's a Sony phone. It's very important that we mention that it's a Sony phone, because this is also a Sony movie, and much like the movie, I'm sure the phone is also horrible. Slender Man hacks his phone, and he's like, oh, I'm coming for you now. He face cams her on his way. He phases through the front door. He's like, I'm at your house. He phases through the front door, and he like goes up behind her bedroom door, and she opens the door. She's like, is he there? And he's not there. She turns around. Of course, he's behind her, and he grabs her at the neck, and he starts choking her and trying to kill her. And then it's revealed that he's not actually choking her. She's going insane. She's choking herself. Oh my God, you didn't see that coming. She doesn't die for whatever reason. They could have added one more kill to that kill count so Dead Meat James could get some material out of this movie, but no, they're not even courteous enough to do that. She doesn't die. She's in this like catatonic coma state through the rest of the movie, like a zombie. She basically turned into a Slender Man zombie. That sounds a lot cooler than it is, because she doesn't actually do anything. We see her one more time in the whole movie through a window. Why she didn't die, I don't know. Maybe they did it in a test screening. People were like, that's rough, don't have him kill her. So they're like, all right, we'll let her live. You know, she doesn't serve a purpose being alive. Like I said, we don't don't check back in with her other than literally a 5-second scene with the other girls. So during this, Hallie falls in love with the hot dude bro, Tom. They make plans for a hot dinner date at what must be 3 a.m. in the morning because it's been night for a long time. Like a long time before she finally goes over to this date. A lot happens in this night. Before she goes on this date, Ren has enough time to go to the library, and then they hang out, kind of argue back and forth. They go check on Chloe in that 5-second scene, and then she's like, no, I gotta go on my date. She goes home, gets ready, gets all her makeup on, looks real pretty, goes to the date, and it's been nighttime the whole time. Anyways, when they're setting up this date, Hallie looks over into the woods and she's like, oh my god, Slender Man's right there. She's just staring at him for the longest time. Her boyfriend Tom's like, hey, something's wrong with you. All right, see you later. And he just leaves. He's like, well, you're looking into the woods at something. See you later. Oh, Tom, you could have been another kill added to the kill count, but nope. It's only in the trailer, which we'll get to the trailer if I remember. Ren goes to the library to study Slender Man. She starts looking him up, and she goes on the world's most intuitive search engine, which literally gives her every single result she could ever dream of and leads her from one source to another that is just perfect for everything she needs. She finds out all the info she could ever wish to have about Slender Man. She also rents this magic eye book. It's not really a magic eye, but she's like, oh, well, this is going to be a good one. This allows her to be jump scared by the librarian who walks around a corner. Some people said this was the only good jump scare in the whole movie. It wasn't. Nothing's good in this movie. The scares aren't scary. Nothing happens. It's not a scary movie. Was it PG-13? I think it's PG-13, so you can't really blame it because it's, you know, can't be that scary if it's PG-13, but whatever. So then Slender Man shows up in the library and he uses his Snapchat filter again. He face swaps with Wrench, so then her face is all, and I said Wrench because her name is Ren, but it's spelled like Wrench. He face swaps with her, so then her face is the Slender Man face, and she's all freaked out, and he puts his hands all over her face, and he like screams at her or whatever, and then she wakes up because it was all just a dream. Of course it was. So Hallie goes over to hot dude bro Tom's house for hot sexy PG-13 sex date. Mid-sex though, Tom's face turns into like this, like it does this weird like, and it like flickers a whole bunch. It looks like the cockroach man from Men in Black. It looks real bad. Like it's laughable to the point where in theaters, me and my friends saw that, and there was like 5 other people in that theater. There was like a mom and her 3-year-old kids for whatever reason. And then there was like some younger kids down in the front. The second this happened, me and my friends were all trying to be courteous. We busted out laughing. It's the funniest thing in the whole movie. It actually makes the movie almost worth watching. So his face distorts, and they have a little conversation after that. He's like, whoa, what's wrong? You're freaking out. You freaked out earlier when you were looking in the woods. She's like, well, I summoned Slender Man, and now he's coming to kill me. Don't watch this YouTube video. Here's the link. So he's like, well, of course I'm not going to watch it. Clicks play and watches the video. She leaves, and he's like, I'm gonna watch the video now. He watches the video. That goes all of he has scratches on his face. That's all it goes to. Initially, you can see it in the trailers. He does kill himself. He does wind up jumping off a bridge or stabbing himself in the eye or whatever he does. I don't totally remember, but he does kill himself in the trailer. You can also see Chloe in the trailer a little more. She might be the one who stabs herself in the eye. I don't know why this was cut from the movie. Maybe it was a little too rated R for this movie. It is in the trailer, and the trailer is 1,000 times better than this horrible, trash, horrible movie that you should never see. Lizzie, that's Hallie's little sister, she starts having a panic attack and is sent to the hospital. Hallie's all freaked out. She's like, oh my god, my sister. Again, why do we care about this sister dynamic when earlier in the movie Hallie was like, no, dude, we're not actually friends, you just think we are. At this point, I couldn't care less what happens to either of these two because one of them we know nothing about. We know nothing about Lizzie. She's the sequel setup too. We know nothing about Lizzie, and Hallie is horrible. But Hallie's all freaked out. She has like 12 consecutive dreams in this hospital about like maybe Slender Man's outside her house or something, and then she's all pregnant with Slender Man's babies and tentacles everywhere, and then everyone in the hospital has no face. Cool imagery. Sure, cool imagery. It's stupid because it goes nowhere and it's all a dream. So Hallie goes to Ren and is like, hey, what the hell's happening? And Ren is like, oh, guess what? I introduced your little sister to Slender Man. But she finds that out. Ren doesn't admit that, right? Hallie finds this video of Ren. I said this earlier, an expositional video that did not need to be filmed in universe, where Ren is like filming this vlog. She's like, hey guys, we're going to find a dead body in the woods. Dab on him, Lizzie. You see, Lizzie, I'm with you, and we're dabbing on him looking for the Slender Man. So now it's like, there's a little manufactured drama going on here. Why would Ren record that? Why would she record it? Why would she put her face on it? Why would she put Lizzie in the video if she knew this could cause drama? So Hallie is all pissed off at Ren, and Ren's like all mid jumping off her roof trying to kill herself. Ren is saved by Hallie, but it doesn't really matter. Why do we have to waste time saving her? She dies right hereafter when Slender Man Skypes him again on their Sony phones. He throws Ren out the window and kills her. She's dead. She was saved, and now she's dead again, so who cares? It doesn't really throw out the window. I'm giving Slender Man a lot more credit than he deserves. He's hardly in this movie. He has probably a consecutive of maybe a minute worth of footage in this movie. Maybe. A lot of this is just like tentacles or trees ripping him out the window or doing whatever they're doing. He is in that scene when he's choking Chloe. He is standing in the woods at one point, and he does show up in the library. And at the very end, he's in a 2-second clip when he has all these tentacles coming out of him. So then Hallie is like, oh, I gotta go save my sister. She goes to Slender Man in the woods and is like, well, you gotta sacrifice a soul to save a soul. Take me, Slender Man. Take me so that my sister can live. And Slender Man is basically like, wow, what a sweet deal. I've been after you all movie. All right, well, this sounds great. Let me turn into my tentacle form, and then we'll get this going. Immediately, Hallie starts to run away. She's like, no, thanks. I was just kidding. Just books it for some reason. If you go to the Slender Man in the woods and you say, hey, Slender Man, literal dialogue, take me, and then you're surprised when he's going to take you, you've instantly become one of the dumbest characters put to film in cinema history. I don't understand this decision. I don't understand any decision made by the writing team of this movie, but this decision in particular, it literally is a contradiction that follows itself within the same scene. It's not even like a continuity error throughout the film, like at the beginning one thing's established, but at the end it's contradicted. Literally the same scene. Sure, you could say, oh, she didn't know Slender Man was going to turn into a big tentacle monster. Of course she did. She knows what Slender Man is. She's seen him the whole movie. Once again, the director must have been caught off guard by this. He's like trying to run and catch up. He's like, oh, Jesus, you're running too fast, girl. I can't hold the camera and film you and run. He does his best to chase her. So does Slender Man. Slender Man catches up, though, turns Hallie into a tree. He does. That's how the movie ends. He pins her against a tree, turns her into the tree. Now she's the tree. Presumably, that's what he does with all his victims. Why he didn't do that with Chloe, I have no idea. She has plot armor, I guess. Why he didn't do that with Tom, I have no idea. He has plot armor, I guess. Either way, Hallie's dead. Lizzie's saved. The end. We get some sequel setup here where Lizzie gives some narration about, oh man, you know, people spread these rumors, and these rumors cause people to summon the Slender Man, and the people who summon the Slender Man wind up dying, which causes rumors, which is a cycle, and it's never ending. I'm gonna end that cycle. I'm here to save the day. If there's a Slender Man 2, Lord knows I'm not gonna see it unless the podcast crew needs me to. It was real bad. It's a waste of money. Luckily, I only spent $5 on it, though. I would say it's fun to watch with friends, because I did have some fun watching it with friends, and my friend who came with me, the channel manager, he was like, yeah, I didn't pay to watch the movie. I paid to listen to your commentary over the movie, because we all just sat there making fun of it. Like I said, we tried to be courteous of the other people, so we were quiet about it, but good lord, we had to make fun of it because it was a bad movie. The pacing is real trash in this film. Nothing happens the whole time. Slender Man is a movie that's real bad with okay-ish acting. The actors don't do anything horrible. Cool visuals. I really do like the visuals in this movie. The directing, other than whenever he's caught off guard, isn't the worst. The visuals, like I said, they are cool, but they don't hold your interest for an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's got a pretty good soundtrack. Almost no scares, though. Special effects are horrible, like real horrible. No Slender Man throughout the whole movie. Like I said, he's got probably less than a minute of screen time. I don't understand why there's so little Slender Man. He's literally the title character. I understand if you're gonna make like a Godzilla movie. And let's say you make a Godzilla movie with 12 minutes of Godzilla screen time in a 2.5 hour movie. He still has 12.5 minutes of screen time. In an hour and a half movie, I expect Slender Man to have like at least 5 minutes of screen time, not less than a minute. It's actually ridiculous. So the cool visuals, they get old after a minute, and then you're left with nothing. You're left with nothing to help you enjoy this film. It's really bad. It is a really bad movie. I gave this maybe a 4 out of 10 in my podcast review, I think. Maybe oh, we didn't actually rate it out of 10. This must have been a note that I took just a couple days ago when I was writing the script for this review. Apparently I put 4 out of 10. After doing this review, though, thinking about it, it doesn't even deserve that. It's like a 3 out of 10, if anything. It's a trash movie. The end of story. If you're gonna watch it with a group of friends who you enjoy making fun of movies with. Don't pay money for it. Try and get it on Netflix or whatever streaming site it comes out on. Alright, well, there's your Halloween review for Slender Man 2018. What do you guys think of Slender Man? I know you didn't watch it, and I know no one's watching this video because it's a horror movie review, but in some hypothetical scenario where I have a viewer watching this video that has seen Slender Man, tell me down below what you thought of this horrible movie. Alright, for the rest of you guys who aren't watching this video, have fun watching the next Godzilla news update because that's all you're waiting for. For those of you who are watching this video, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. D-Man, out.